Yes, I will.
Representative Eissler, would you say that education is the #1 priority for the state of Texas or not?
Yes, it is.
Education is the #1 priority.
Yes.
Do you think before anything else is adequately funded, that education should be funded?
Education is funded.
No, no. You're saying education is the #1 priority.
And I believe, yes, and I believe additional money has gone into public education.
It's not a question
from our general.
Additional money has gone into Medicaid. Additional money has gone into on our roads and bridges. The question that I'm asking you is the reason
it's moved up to 60% of the budget.
Will you agree with me that we are anticipating 160,000 more kids coming into our public school systems?
Well, that's why 60% of our budget
will you agree
is
with
public
me?
ed.
Will you agree with me that we are expecting 160,000 more kids?
That's our priority.
And will you agree with me, according to the HBO report that's on everybody's desk, that the only reason we are dealing with this issue on public school finance is because school finance system is set by statute? The legislature would have to amend the education code to permit a state appropriation to the foundation school program below the statutory financial obligation. Will you agree with me that's why we're dealing with this issue?
Well, that's part of why we're here.
Will you also agree with me that the budget is one of choices?
Yes, it is. And
will you agree with me that this legislature, in the budget, is making choices?
Yes, and we've made those
choices. And choices have consequences, do they not?
Yes, they do.
Will you agree with me that those who voted for HB1, the General Appropriation Bill, made a conscientious choice.
A conscious choice and a conscientious
to
choice.
reduce the foundation school program by $4 billion.
Yes, yes, they did.
They made a choice. And as a result of that choice.
Well, it probably wasn't their first choice. You know, we're in a situation where the country is in a pretty strong recession, and the reason Texas has created more jobs than all the other states combined is that we take care of our business. We live within our means.
Chairman Eissler, did we not?
And we have a rainy day fund that will take care. Now, Sylvester, if you're going to take a question and then take a speech, let me do that too.
Fair enough.
And that's why
my apology.
No, that's okay. I know we're both shocked, but when you have the opportunity to do the right thing and to create jobs and to shore up your education system, which not necessarily is by a lot more money. It's not, as I said before, it's not how much you spend; it's how well you spend it.
Chairman Eissler, did we not make a promise to the 1,100 local school districts in 2006? That we were going to ante up and pay the tab? Did we not make that promise?
That's how we had a hold harmless? Yes, we did.
Are we not not reneging on the promise that this legislature made in 2006?
We are adjusting that.
Or we're acting like the federal government now? We acting like the federal government?
No,
we say one thing and we do another?
If you recall, and you were here for that.
I was here.
That was a snapshot. And about $1 billion got locked in money that some school districts, a lot of school districts had ahead because of the snapshot. And that's why the ASITAR.
Chairman Eissler?
Yes.
As a result of this legislature taking $4 billion away from our local schools, we have bills on the calendar today to remove the minimum salary schedule for our teachers. Is that not true?
That is not true.
We are not reducing the minimum.
Not on today's calendar.
Chairman Eissler.
Yes.
In this bill, Representative Caligari has an amendment, I think, on page 98.
Which he pulled.
Okay. To reduce the minimum payment salary for teachers.
You mean the one that no teacher in this state is on as a minimum?
Is there an attempt to reduce the minimum payment salary for teachers?
There is a bill that will do away with the minimum salary schedule.
Okay. And are people attempting to reduce the salary schedule for teachers
No.
In large part because we have cut out $4 billion from the educational schools in the state of Texas.
Well, yes, there are $4 billion less than current law.
And then let me ask you this, and because of that, that's for this biennium.
Yes.
In the next biennium, is it not true that there are people on this floor that do not want to come to the next legislative session owing our schools, and so there's an attempt to make sure that we eliminate any obligation to pay even more next time around?
Well, I would say that...
is that not true, Chairman Eissler?
Part of the agreement with the Senate was to zero that out, because we don't know what the next biennium is going to look at. It could look worse than this one.
Chairman Eissler, if you will agree, as you have agreed, that education is the #1 priority for the state of Texas,
yes,
then why are we dealing with this financing proposal at the end of the process when everything else has been taken care of, and the only thing left is funding for our children?
Well,
and I don't care what
I disagree with you saying it's put at the very end. I know it's a distribution system, but as you recall, the base budget, I think, had a $9.7 or $9.8 billion shortfall for public education. And that was whittled down, and even a deferral in this budget, I think, cut it down to 4.
Mr. Speaker.